Bombshell. Victor Aldama will present new evidence about the illegal financing of Pedro Sánchez's PSOE through Venezuela. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Medidas Cautelares, and let's get to this bombshell. I already told you in the previous video about Aldama that he wasn't going to sit idly by, that there would be a reaction to that lawsuit before the filing of a slander complaint by Delcy Rodriguez, the Venezuelan narco dictator, against Aldama himself. Well, there is already a reaction, and of course it's very bad news not only for Delcy Rodriguez but also for Pedro Sánchez himself. Let's share this information. By the way, if you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe to the Medidas Cautelares channel. We're already heading towards 150,000 subscribers. And now you have this information on screen, the image of Victor Aldama in one of those appearances in court, either at the National Court or the Supreme Court, and we're going to share this very important information. Businessman Victor Aldama will present new evidence about the illegal financing of the PSOE, of Pedro Sánchez taking advantage of the lawsuit filed by the acting president of the Chavista regime, Delcy Rodriguez, against Aldama himself. Delcy Rodriguez filed a conciliation lawsuit against Aldama prior to filing a criminal complaint for an alleged crime of slander through the law firm of former Judge Baltasar Garzón. The businessman identified the former number 2 of Nicolas Maduro's regime as the person who handed him the envelope from the Venezuelan state company. Delcy, with oil quotas worth $250 million to finance the Socialist International and Pedro Sánchez's PSOE, as was exclusively reported by Medidas Cautelares and Libertad Digital in 2024. Sources close to Aldama consulted claim that this legal move by Delcy Rodriguez is actually a political operation to silence and discredit Victor Aldama, which could come from the Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez and from former Prime Minister José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. It's no coincidence that the claim filed before the criminal complaint was submitted through Baltasar Garzón's Ilocat law firm. Delcy Rodriguez, they say, is trying to protect her brother Jorge Rodriguez, who is Zapatero's main partner in Venezuela. This lawsuit was filed just 1 month after Aldama testified about the alleged illegal financing of the Socialist Party before Judge Ismael Moreno of Central Investigative Court No. 2 of the National Court, Ismael Moreno. Since then, agents from the Central Operational Unit of the Civil Guard, UCO, have been investigating all the information provided by Aldama. This was completed with the delivery of the envelope containing the famous PDVSA quotas worth $250 million. To finance the Socialist International presided over by Pedro Sánchez and Pedro Sánchez's Socialist Party. The same sources consulted emphasized that Delcy Rodriguez's lawsuit is a strategic mistake, which will give Victor Aldama the opportunity to provide more information and reveal more details about the illegal financing of the PSOE and the involvement of Delcy herself and her brother Jorge Rodriguez. Aldama is said to have received this lawsuit from the Venezuelan Chavista president very calmly. He also believes that this new legal dispute will give him the opportunity to continue putting together the pieces of the puzzle of the illegal financing of Pedro Sánchez's PSOE and Venezuela. It should be noted that the lawsuit from Delcy Rodriguez, which I mentioned in the previous video, claims that it is untruthful, false, or not in line with reality. The statement consists of the accusation against Delcy Rodriguez, claiming that she handed over something to Aldama. The mentioned envelope, which has been identified in the media as a paper cover with the logo or emblem of PDVSA. You already know the famous image of the PDVSA envelope that we've talked about so many times. The defense of the Chavista president explains in the document that attributing the delivery of the envelope has a negative meaning and context because it says it implies an attribution of participation in a broad sense and not in strictly legal or criminal terms of my client in events that, at least against other people, could constitute a crime. We also take this opportunity to remind you of the last big exclusive we reported in Medidas Cautelares and Libertad Digital about the famous company Apamate, the key company in the illegal financing of the PSOE. As we reported exclusively, Victor Aldama explained to Judge Moreno in that statement last March. that the company Apamate Corporate and Trust, linked to the banker allegedly connected to Chavismo and drug trafficking, Francisco Flores, who is supposedly deceased, was used in the illegal financing operation of the PSOE. Specifically, this company channeled PDVSA oil quotas worth $250 million that were used to irregularly finance Pedro Sanchez's PSOE. Aldama told Judge Moreno that Apamate was the key company in this criminal scheme by the PSOE to finance itself with funds coming from Nicolas Maduro's Venezuelan regime. The businessman explained in his appearance before the National Court that José Luis Sábalo started the procedures to channel the PDVSA quota funds through Apamate, and that later José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero took over handling it. According to Aldama's testimony before Judge Moreno, Zapatero channeled the PDVSA quotas through Apamate, making various payments and using bank accounts in different countries such as Panama or Russia. And this is the hugely important information we are revealing, so pay attention. Businessman Victor Aldama will present new evidence about the illegal financing of Pedro Sanchez's Socialist Party, taking advantage of the prior lawsuit before filing a slander complaint that was presented by the former number 2 of Nicolas Maduro's regime, Delcy Rodriguez, against businessman Victor Aldama himself. It is worth noting that, according to sources close to Aldama that we have consulted, Delcy Rodriguez is also trying to protect and cover for her brother Jorge Rodriguez. Aldama has taken this legal action by Delcy Rodriguez very calmly because he believes it will help him continue piecing together the puzzle of the illegal financing of the Socialist Party through funds coming from the regime of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. And this is the information. We will see what else comes out of it, and of course any updates will be here on Medidas Cautelares. That's all for this edition of Medidas Cautelares. I hope you liked the video, that you liked all the information we've shared, and you already know that you can still subscribe to Medidas Cautelares, right? To reach those 150,000, let's see if we can do it before August. It's going to be tough, but we can make it. And also thank you for continuing to subscribe, either as members, as the chosen ones for less than €3 a month, or as the supreme ones for less than €7 a month. You can also make contributions as subscribers, either as the chosen ones for less than €3 a month, or as the supreme ones for less than €7 a month, at 62756370, 62756370. And as always, leave me your opinions and comments. Do you think Aldama will finally present that evidence that will help us learn more details about that funding? Will there be evidence of illegal PSOE funding pointing directly to Delcy Rodriguez or Pedro Sánchez? Leave me your answers, and you already know that you can share this video with whoever you want. Family, friends, co-workers, anyone you like, so that this Medidas Cautelares family keeps growing every day, no matter who it bothers. The most important thing, as I always say, is that this information reaches everyone because information is power. See you soon.